Pablo Escobar was known as the King of Coke. He was one of Colombia's most renowned drug lords in the country's history. And today we'll look at the most insane acts made by Pablo Escobar during his drug lord career. Number 5. He believed in silver or lead. Pablo Escobar had a particular style of dealing with things. It was basically his way or the highway. If things didn't go his way, he did everything he could to make sure they did. When it came to anyone trying to ruin his fun or distract him from his job aspirations, he was intolerant. Pablo's strategy for dealing with authorities was plata or plomo, which translates as silver or lead. People either took the silver or risked getting the lead. If he got in trouble, he always sought to bribe officials, although it didn't always work. He would kill the officials if he couldn't bribe them. Throughout his career, he assassinated hundreds, if not thousands, of police officers who refused to be bribed. All of these officials were assassinated on instructions from Escobar, and all they were doing was carrying out their duties. Number 4. He had incredible influence. Pablo Escobar was a powerful guy for a reason, and his fortune grew swiftly because he controlled a large portion of the drug trade. He transported so many drugs that he frequently had to purchase larger planes merely to get them to the United States. He was responsible for bringing in 80% of the cocaine into the United States at the height of his drug trafficking career. This is why the DEA honed down on him, trying to apprehend him. Smuggling would nearly vanish if he were not in the picture. The 1980s were a huge decade for cocaine smuggling. It was a popular narcotic. 4 out of every 5 people inhaling a line of cocaine were most likely snorting from Pablo's supply. Number 3. He put his family through hell. When Pablo Escobar initially came to power, his family lived in luxury. They possessed a fortune that they would never be able to spend. Helicopters, a private zoo, a home, a $500,000 in Christmas gifts were all provided for his family. However, as the FBI got closer to apprehending Escobar, the rope began to tighten around his neck. His family's life became a lot less enjoyable once they began to flee. Officials had to travel from safe house to safe house as they sought for him. Despite having millions of wealth, they were starving to death while fleeing. They couldn't leave their house even if they had all the money in the world. Escobar was beginning to realize that being a drug lord wasn't what he hoped for, and he regretted putting his family through the misery. Number 2. He bribed police officials. It's hardly surprising that someone in Pablo Escobar's position would bribe officials. All-powerful guys know how to do it. During his tenure as a drug lord, he attempted to do the same to government leaders. He was arrested for narcotics possession in 1976. The same year, he married his young bride. That day, luck was on his side because he was able to pay the police officers. The drug possession case collapsed around them as soon as the bribe was accepted. Pablo then became accustomed to bribing those around him. It worked to his advantage at times and not at others, but it worked so many times that it became a habit that he carried with him throughout his criminal career as a drug lord. Pablo discovered the cops would turn a blind eye for a small sum of money. Number 1. He killed a lot of people. Pablo Escobar murdered a large number of people during the course of his career. In fact, even the estimate is high, despite the reality that there is likely a lot more blood on his hands than we will ever know. His hitmen were in charge of the majority of his assassinations, especially when it came to detonating aircraft bombs or putting up vehicle bombs. Pablo was responsible for the deaths of 4,000 individuals, 1,000 police officers, journalists, and government officials, as well as 200 judges during his drug lord career. If there was a lawmaker or a government figure attempting to destabilize Escobar, he would go out of his way to assassinate that person. He wanted to own the people in authority, and if he couldn't, he would do all in his ability to assassinate them. And with that being said, it's time to end our video. What's your take on this? Let us know in the comments, like this video, and make sure to subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos like this. We'll see you in the next video.